Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm Vox, and another July means another San Diego Comic-Con, which means another Steven Universe panel. Now, by now, we've dissected a lot of the big news coming out of Comic-Con, especially in relation to Steven Universe the movie, but let's actually take a look at the panel itself. As with every panel, there's questions, and where there's questions, there's answers. However, some of these answers were to long-running mysteries in the series, things that were never addressed in the show itself, but fans were scratching their heads wondering over and over again, well, what is going on here? So let's run through the most interesting questions and answers at the Steven Universe San Diego Comic-Con 2019 panel, and as we do best, overanalyze the heck out of it, for all the juicy little tidbits we've been dying for. And spoiler warning, in case anything here goes into movie territory and you don't want to know, you just want to go in completely blind, you've been warned. So the first of these questions actually emerged at the beginning of the panel, where moderator Shelby Rabara, voice of Peridot, asked Sugar and the cast of the show what they thought of Change Your Mind, as it was one of the biggest episodes of anything to ever air on Cartoon Network ever. And this is the first time a lot of these voice actors were making a public appearance together with Rebecca Sugar, and thus able to properly discuss the finale. However, Estelle remarked that Change Your Mind sets up what's to come in the series, but then clarified she was referring to the film. And while this was a bit to amuse Rebecca Sugar, keep her on her toes, make her think a spoiler is accidentally going to slip out, this statement still has some implications on the future. That the new status quo and event to Change Your Mind will have greater ramifications beyond the film. Steven's resolution towards the Diamonds already weeded out this new antagonist in the movie, but perhaps there will be a domino effect that goes into season 6 as well. After all, we still don't know who created the Diamonds, and how those creators feel about the Diamonds changing up their ways. So really, Change Your Mind does set up what's to come in future episodes, not just the film, as the show could begin to possibly pull back on the man behind the man on the throne. Who's really in charge of all of Gemkind, and why white, yellow, and blue were just the beginning. The next question we want to focus on actually answers a long-running theory. Why is there no beef between Lapis and Bismuth? After all, Bismuth was the one who poofed Lapis, right? To which we get confirmation. The Bismuth that poofed Lapis Lazuli in the Gem War is our Bismuth. According to Rebecca Sugar, it's impossible not to become best friends with Bismuth instantly. She's the best friend anyone could ask for. Lapis didn't get a good look at the gem who poofed her, and Bismuth probably poofed many homeworld Lapises over the course of the war. Lapis has also had a very hard time being treated as an enemy on both sides, so she didn't really know who to direct her anger to. Luckily now, in present day, the crystal gems give Lapis a support system and family she hasn't had since her time before the war. She's happy, so we won't have Bismuth and Lapis butting heads over who was in the right, who was in the wrong. And at this point in the story, the show isn't worse for it. I do think it's time for the show to move on from the Gem War and all the sour feelings that accompany it. That's not to say any trauma is to be taken lightly. Those issues still need to be worked through, but without holding grudges. Not to mention, if Bismuth didn't poof Lapis, she may have ended up in the Diamond's corruption attack. So yeah, thanks Bismuth. Lapis may have had a hard time getting off the planet if Bismuth didn't poof her. They were in the middle of a war. Any and all methods of transportation were probably heavily guarded by the crystal gems as to prevent Homeworld from retreating. This doesn't mean more storytelling opportunities of Lapis can arise from the war. After all, I'd love to see her catch up and talk things out with some Homeworld gems from Era 1. The gems who were responsible for her imprisonment in the mirror, without Lapis necessarily being aggressive. Alright, next question. Now, after Rose Quartz was revealed to be Pink Diamond, everyone's heads were spinning, wondering how Pearl kept that such a hidden secret from everyone else. One of the more peculiar cases being Sardonyx, as she has pink diamonds on her shoes. So did Sardonyx know about Pink Diamond since Pearl was a part of her? And that for one reason or another, Garnet just forgot whenever they unfused? And the answer to that is, no. According to Rebecca Sugar, fusions are their own person. The most human equivalent to a fusion is a kid. Whatever information Pearl and Garnet share of each other in their specific relationship, or to their kid, is what Sardonyx knows. Pearl wasn't able to share that information with Garnet, so Sardonyx didn't know. By extension, this also means any fusion Rose Quartz herself shared with any of the crystal gems were spared of her true identity, namely Obsidian, who in the mere existence of the temple implies that at one point in time, this fusion did exist with Rose in the place of Steven. Now this next one's a theory many people, including I, had for a very long time. The show seemed to debunk it, but really we had to see what came out of Sugar's mouth before drawing any concrete conclusions. Was Pearl, our Pearl, made for White Diamond or ever served her? To which Sugar clarified, our Pearl never served White Diamond, but White Diamond is involved in the creation of pearls. And then Sugar implied there was more to come with that information, but that she can't say anymore. However, we do know from a Reddit AMA on the day Change Your Mind premiered that Rebecca Sugar herself confirmed the extraction chambers used by the diamonds correlate directly to the creation of a gem. Every gem having a little bit of white diamond in them is a logical conclusion we can reach as a result. It also gives more context to White Diamond's speech in Change Your Mind, referring to herself as every color of the light, and that pink diamond is the part that she represses. From here, after the amazing announcements pertaining to Steven Universe the movie, Q&A was opened up to the general public. So let's pick up from there, with the question, are we going to see more gem-human interactions? To which Sugar elaborated, gems and humans will certainly be doing a lot of interacting. There are a lot of uncorrupted gems on the planet now, so it's only natural they would mingle with the locals. We're not in Era 1 anymore. Gems just can't crash land on the planet and not talk to human beings. However, Sugar seemed pretty tight-lipped on this. And I did theorize that after the events of Steven Universe the movie, if Beach City is unable to be healed by Steven after the results of the giant gem injector implanting itself in the ground and draining it of all resources, the humans of Beach City could end up living in the Gem Town, bringing true unity to both sides of Steven's life. Why have humans and gems living in two separate towns when they can live in one big town together? I'm just saying. After that, we had a rather interesting question. Are Pearl and Greg ever going to try and find love again? To which Sugar only answered half of this question, which I am going to read way into. Sugar stated, it's important for Pearl to be independent for a while. She got out of a very long love and relationship, one that transcended the life of the loved one in question. Right now, Pearl is finding herself, and Sugar is having a lot of fun showing that side of Pearl. But no comment for Greg? Allow me to pitch a quick theory. Steven Universe as a show is maturing as Steven as a character is maturing. Thus, the themes would also get a bit more mature. What if Greg Universe puts himself back out there, potentially even wooing a new girlfriend? And thus, starting with season 6, Steven will have to get used to the fact that his dad has a girlfriend. Not that Steven would be against it. It's not like he ever got the chance to see his parents together, but he does know how much Greg loves Rose. So Steven would be very understanding and supportive of Greg in his actions. It's a story that would hit close for a lot of viewers at home, who also may experience their parents moving on for one reason or another. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe you're like Steven and you only have one parent. Not to mention, Greg just deserves to be happy. So I'm just gonna run with it and take Sugar's lack of a comment as absolute 100% confirmation. Hahaha, setting myself up for disappointment. No, but really, I do think Greg putting himself back out there is a really viable and mature storyline option for season 6. Steven is 16. Greg has been without romantic love for 16 years. Let him have something. Next up, oh boy, another juicy one. Is Stevonnie capable of fusing with other gems? Now this seemed like a spoiler question and Sugar was kind of hesitant to answer it. That's not to say this is something already planned in the series, but it could definitely be a concept she's toyed around with a few times. If not, something she could even be planning to write into the show itself. That'd be something to cross off the bucket list. Sugar stated, Steven's capable of fusing with humans and gems, so it would make sense for Stevonnie, who has Steven's gem, to be similarly capable. But Stevonnie is such an individual that they don't need anybody but themselves. She's so wise. She's so wise. So yes, Stevonnie can fuse with other gems. Thus, by extension, Connie can technically fuse with gems. Fusions are their own person, but you guys get the idea. A part of Connie in some way, shape, or form can experience the wonders of fusion. So who do you want to see Stevonnie fuse with? Garnet? Peridot? Bismuth? The diamonds? Anything could be on the table. Now, second to last question, will there be any new fusions in the upcoming seasons or movie? To which really we were all just told, tune into the movie to find out, saying that we'll have to wait a little bit longer, which implies there will be a new fusion in the film, but is that really a surprise? It's Steven Universe, and it's a movie. Of course we're going to have a brand new fusion. A celebration of the show means celebrating everything that goes into the show. Every component that makes us laugh, cry, and freak out and scream on the internet. But I'm still cooking up a video on who the fusion could be. Stay tuned. And to close out, we have a rather simple question that And this is a thing we recently speculated on. What do the two flags that Steven's new house represent? Well, the answer is simple. One flag represents Earth, and the other flag represents Homeworld, the two sides of Steven's life. Once again, guys, we are so close to Steven Universe in the movie, a brand new chapter of Steven Universe and Steven's life, and as we get closer and closer, we have so much content coming out for you guys. I'm excited. This movie has honestly made me the happiest I've been in a while, so I'm ready to just dive in and experience it. But allow me to turn the conversation over to you guys. What do you think? Which question fascinated you the most? And why? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at ARTWITHKODA. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. Special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Tumblr and Instagram at ARTWITHKODA and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please sort of like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA signing out.